Hey guys, it's Vanity, as about Carpet Vanguard, as in Vanity, weekly reviews because you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, and stuff. This time we have more reviews from DZ Set 9. Unfortunately, this week we are not getting Platinum, or technically this week we're getting Platinum, but not in this episode. Today we are only going to cover the reviews from the, well, I'm going to call the Dai Kaiser promo thingy with like the mecha anime and whatever, but we also have the Heartluru, aka the new Chaos in the Craycross Epic line, so let's see what we got here today. First up, we have the Dragon's First Cry Roars Through the Heavens. God, that's a long name for a crappy order. Grade 3 normal order, choose one of your grade 1 less units, give it plus 2k to turn feature opponent's open rear guard circle, so I mean, it's a once per turn plus 10k to unit possibly. Not bad, but the fact that it has to be specifically grade 1 or lower for a really cool sounding name like it is, it's kind of 50-50 in my opinion, so 1 of tech if you choose to run it. Following that, we have Stealth Dragon Utse Mitsu Akuya. Great to if I could show 10k base. Okay, we all know I'm biased towards the moon in the background, but it's not white, so 50-50. Auto, or red for that matter. Auto input on guard circle. Reveal any number of persona show tickets from your hand, because you forgot those existed. There you go. Show up to the same number of your grade 2 less unit cards as the number of revealed cards for this cost, and they get auto and retire from guard circle, put it to soul to end of battle. So that procs off for guardians as well, so if you have other guardians, you can give them the skill, including itself. So cool. It gets you ways to get free soul, and it procs up based on the number of persona revealed tickets in hand. I think you can only have one in your hand at a time. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, because I haven't used any of those cards, but cool. Great way to add shield value and get you soul, so not a bad grade 2 to have as like a 2 of tech. Following that, we have Sure Demonic Lordling Malphus. Grade 1 boost via Shield, aka base. Auto back or rear guard center. When your grade 3 grade Vanguard or Grand Dogma and this card name is either placed or stands, soul boss will retire it, and all your friends you can 5k as power for the turn. All pretty solid because I like how that implies that you can use Grand Dogma both in the ride deck as your main grade 3 to get the rear guard retired and play the control version, or just play it the normal way with Sacrifice Glass, therefore to get multi attack, and it gives you numbers out of it regardless because it gives the front row 5k. Following that, auto put on guard circle. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 grade with Sacrifice Glass, ditch 1 to 3 cards from your hand, and this unit gets plus 10,000 shield to end a battle for each card scar for the cost. So cool. If you have like a bunch of grade 3s in the hand, it's all dead cards, you can ditch them, add a bunch of shield value to Malphus, or if your opponent's guard restricting you, you can Malphus with that too. Honestly, not a bad grade 1 at all. Add shield value, works really well with Gardoma, regardless if it's being just a main grade 3 or technically backup grade 3. So all around very solid grade 1, easy 3 of, not a 4 of. Only now we have Tightrope Walking Child Cosmere. Grade 1 boost via Kishode, aka base. Auto and place on rear guard circle from the soul. If this unit gets auto rear guard, then return, we put it back to soul to end of turn. So cool. Basically, it gives you a free way to return to soul if you want to, and if you don't want to, well, it's a May clause, so there you go. Not a bad grade 1, but really only going to use it for generics in case you really need it for budget, so 2 of. Following that, we have our new ride line, the Happy Toys ride line, or technically the Heartluru ride line from Craycross Epic. Cute Teddy Bear TT, grades of boost 5k, shield 6k base, auto opponent for second draw card, standard start on spell up, but the following ability is something shared only with majority of the Heartluru line. In fact, the only 2 cards that don't have it are the very important Zet Order and the main grade 3, and that is Happy Toys. This card is a Happy Toys that exists for children, so the Happy Toys thing, that's just important for the skills. Anyways, Nutcracker Soldier Nachuchu is the grade 1 of the ride line, grade 1 boost 5k, shield 8k base, auto placed by riding from Cute Teddy Bear TT, reveal a grade 3 card Heartluru and card from your ride deck. Search your deck for 1, toys are made for children, reveal a perk to hand, shuffle your deck, so it gets you a free order just by riding from the grade 0, which is solid, so it gives you less chances to damage check it. And then auto back or rear guard center. When placed by a card ability, it doesn't matter if it's a Vanguard or an order or some other ability. If your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater and your bind zone has no copies of the starter in it, counterboss 1, bind a starter from your soul. Search your deck for 1, toys are made for children, reveal a perk to hand, shuffle your deck, and the Happy Toys that exist for children. So not a bad grade 1, searches the order for you just by simply being placed, so again, gives you less chance to exam check it, and if you end up playing it while your opponent is at grade 3 and you need to get an extra order into your hand, for an extra CB and a Soul Blast, quote unquote, it gets you your order, so not a bad grade 1 at all, but you don't really need it in the main deck since the ability you're pretty much only ever going to use once a game, so 1 of in the right deck. Following onwards, we have our amazing set order. Toys are made for children. I love how Ava's in the background of this art. I think that implies like a really cool possible crossover between these two in the future. Anyways, grade 1 set order for servers play, put it to order zone. Free, literally no cost whatsoever. Doesn't require anything specifically to place it into order zone. If you want to play this generically in any deck, you can. Anyways, continues. If your Vanguard's either Happy Toys or Heartluru, it gets all the following. Auto input on order zone, check the top 5, choose up to 2 Happy Toys from among them, reveal them, choose up to 1 of the revealed cards player to your hand, and then put the other revealed card into your soul, shuffle your deck. So you can either choose to add 1 card to hand and 1 card to soul, or 2 cards to soul, or 1 card to soul and no cards to hand, doesn't matter how you do it. And then act order zone, rest 2 cards with the same card name as this card in your order zone, choose up to 1 Happy Toys from your drop zone, put to soul. So cool, you aggro down your opponent, you call this grade 2 in the early game, you know, you intercept with it, send it to soul, via toys are made for children, and then keep adding stuff to hand. All around, not a bad order at all. It's free consistency, it allows you to get free soul, both from on place and just from its rest ability, and allows you to play the deck basically throughout the entire game without having any additional cost to it, so easy 4-0. Following that, Coaster Shark, great turn set 5k, show 10k base. One more thing, you also want a hard mulligan for one of these. If you open up with one of these in your opening hand, you're automatically good to go, so just make sure you keep that in mind. Anyways, Coaster Shark, great turn set 5k, show 10k base. Auto place by riding from Nutcracker, Soldier, Nachichu. Reveal a grade 3 card, Heartluru, this card from the red deck. Search up to one copy of Toys Are Made for Children from your hand, shuffle your deck. So same thing as the grade 1. So again, if you hard mulligan for this copy of the order, automatically you're going to have 3 unless you get really lucky and damage check 2 of them before you get to grade 2. But that automatically means you have most of Heartluru's ability pulled off before you even get to grade 3, which is solid. And then auto from a rear guard circle right specifically. So that is the thing with this deck where a lot of the units have specific place they got to be. Some of them are right from a rear guard circle, some of them are left from a rear guard circle, some are back left, some are back right, etc. Obviously, we know not Choo is back center. At once per turn at the end of the battle that attack the rear guard. If your order designs Toys Are Made for Children, and this unit was placed on rear guard circle from the soul this turn by any means, again, whether it's Vanguard, rear guard, or order, Soul Boss won't stand it, and of course, it's a Happy Toys. Cool. Gives itself the ability to multi-attack. It can do that regardless of grade plus Vanguards as long as it swings to a rear guard, and the attack doesn't have to hit as long as you have the order zone. And not to mention the fact that it gets you a free order, so not a bad grade 2 to have, at least as a 1-of, because again, the deck can recycle it, but it's nice to have extra main deck copies just to bully down your opponent with it more, so 1 of in the ride deck. Moving on, we have Sugary and Scary Land Heartluru. Grade 3 10% 13k base. This Willy Wonka looking motherfucker has 3 abilities. Continues Vanguard Circle during your turn. If your order has 3 or more Toys Are Made for Children, regardless of what grade the opponent's Vanguard is at, 5k to front row. This deck, again, thanks to this thing's existence, can get 5 attacks on your opponents at grade 2 if you really want to. So being able to pump 5k to front row by just hard mulliganing for one of these is pretty solid. And then act Vanguard once per turn. Energy buys 3. You get that every single turn. Choose Happy Toys from your soul up to the number of Toys Are Made for Children in your order zone. Call in the rear guard circle. Guaranteed thanks to the ride line, you're always going to get 2. If you end up getting a third one, good for you, maybe even 4. And you get that, again, 3 energy every single turn just by playing the game, unless your energy generator, so you're good to go on that front. And then finally, auto Vanguard once per turn when attacks anything. By counterbossing 1, you perform all of fall based on the number of the toys that are made for children in your order zone. 2 or more, choose one of your front row Happy Toys. Standing gets 10k. So guaranteed this by playing the game, because these things get you it for free, you're going to have at least 1 rear guard standing plus 10k. If you end up getting 3 or more because you hard mulligan for it, again, proc ball on your first grade 3 turn if you want for the mulligan. This unit gets extra 5,000 power for the turn, so 18k, 23k, because you're always going to have the 3 or more. But if your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3 grade, it also gets an extra drive for the turn. So triple drive, which is really nice, and this deck does so much deck thing that at this point I've consistently hit triple triggers off this, at least double. And then finally, 4 or more, choose one of your front row Happy Toys, stand it, and it gets plus 10 as a power for the turn. So pretty much, if you have all 4, you're standing your front row, and then you're giving plus 10k to both of the rear guards in the front row, and you're giving this thing plus 5k in triple drive. All around, not a bad grade 3 at all. Gets drive checks and power really easily for himself, but also always pretty much always guaranteed to stand in front of a rear guard, and possibly even guarantees you an extra stand if the game goes on long enough for your Persona Ride turn. So very solid grade 3. It's really well designed. It allows for the deck to be super aggressive, but also super consistent. Following that, we have Sparkling Bunny, one of my favorite support cards in this deck. Grade 1 boost, Vodka Showed, aka base, Happy Toys as per usual. Auto place on rear guard circle at any point in the game, regardless of what grade either player is at. If your order zone has a Toys Are Made for Children, so literally the second you hit grade 1 because this thing exists, you can check the top 3, choose out any one card from them. It can be a Happy Toys, it can be a Persona Ride, it can be a Trigger, it can be a PG, whatever. Shove it to Soul, shuffle your deck. So if you just want to set up a normal unit into Soul just to deck them for triggers, you can. And then auto left, back, or rear guard circle when your Happy Toys in the same column as it stands by your card abilities, thanks to, Heartluru over here, or even its own ability, mind you. You may stand this unit, and if you stood at the end of the turn, retire, which would normally be a problem, but again, the order can pull it back out from drop zone. Not a bad grade 1 at all. Yes, it has to be specifically left, back, or rear guard circle, but it allows you to do multi-attack a little bit more consistently. That ability is not once per turn, so you found a way to stand multiple times, ahem, this boy, and then combine with, final turn. Yeah, it's going to be really good for power-wise, and again, it deck stacks for free once you literally get to grade 1 and be able to get the free order, so 4 of. Following that, we have Block Horse, grade 1 boost, Vodka Showed, aka base, continuous back or rear guard circle. It gets intercept and can intercept from back row, and then continues guard circle. If your order zone has Toys Are Made for Children, it gets 5,000 shield. Happy Toys, a Happy Toys is for children. So cool. 10k shield, has intercept from back row as long as it's in the back right rear guard circle. Honestly, the deck doesn't need too much shield value, but it is a nice card to have in the deck, so it's a solid 2 over 3 for me. On that, we have Giant Fluff, grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Auto place on rear guard circle. Soul Boss 2, choose up to 2. Choose a Toys Are Made for Children from your drop zone or face up in your damage zone. Put it to your hand. If you put into your damage zone, put the top card of your deck into your damage zone. So if one of your important orders ends up in damage zone, well, there you go. And you tend to have like 2 free soul lying around, so pretty easy to proc off. And then auto right from rear guard circle. When this unit stands by the ability of your grade 3 grade Vanguard Heartluru in the card name, till end of turn, it gets continues rear guard circle. During the battle, he attacked in anything, whether it's a Vanguard or rear guard. When your opponent call cards in the guard circle, then become 2 more at the same time, and he gets an extra 10,000 power. So basically, he becomes a guard of Irina. Pretty solid. Extra power, force out more cards. The only difference is that you can only have him or the shark on the board, because obviously their abilities are going to counteract each other, both of them being required to be in the back or front right rear guard circle. But whichever one you have, you're either getting extra multi attack or you're getting extra numbers and guard power out of it. So easy 3 of it, not a 4 for me. Then we have our last toy card, and that is Toy Monster Bravey Lost. For some reason, thanks to the Ava initiation over here, I immediately assumed this was just Wavy Lost in toy version. Grade 2 5k shield, 10k base, auto placed on rear guard circle. If your Orezone has a toys are made for children in it, card boss 1, draw a card, and your opponent's vanguards are grade 3 grade at 5,000 power to himself, so he's a 15k base, and you get a free hand card. And then auto left front rear guard circle. When this unit stands by the ability of your grade 3 get a Vanguard Heartluru in the card name, he gets extra crit for the turn. That ability is incredibly broken because that does not require the opponent to be at grade 3, and I specify that because Heartluru in the game that I did that probably is going up today or tomorrow literally won because it went first. The stand ability is not regardless of the opponent's Vanguard grade, and not to mention the fact that Bravey Lost is regardless of the opponent's Vanguard's grade, so combine that, you have 5 attacks going in, one of which goes an interceptor, and this thing going in at least 20k double crit on its own. Yeah, very good grade 2 aggressively, gets hand cards, gets power for opponents at grade 3, and regardless of a grade, the opponent's Vanguard's that gets extra crit once it stands by abilities, so easy 4 of. Then we have Gardener, Pruner, Ludorus, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. So the standard contains rear guard circle. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 grade and your opponent's draft check / damage check revealed a trigger, it gets 5,000 power and 5k shield during both players' turns. So nice generic card for Stoicheia. Again, like I said, the other ones, if your deck has space for it, you can run it for the extra shield and power, but typically you're not going to need it unless you're playing budget, so 2 up to 3 depending on your situation. Following that, we have Golden Sunshine Fruit, grade 3 normal order, choose on your rear guards, and it gets to change rear guard. This unit cannot be chosen and cannot be put on other rear guard circles by your opponent's card effect until end of your opponent's next turn. It is literally Stoicheia's own version of Angel Bracing Ladder, but to not allow you to have 2 copies of Angel Bracing Ladder in the deck that are of the same equal power. This thing is the budget version, but only letting you pick 1 rear guard. Not bad, it also doesn't go to soul, but it is what it is, and at least it protects something. Following that, we have Harmonious Inflow Rosium, grade 2 5k shield, 10k base, auto rear guard, and then about this unit attack, if it's the 4th battle of the turn or more, soul boss 1, kill it, choose 1 rear guards, and give it plus 10,000 power for the turn. Cool. Fills up your drop zone, give units numbers, only downside has to be a 4th or more battle, and it has to soul blast it, and most decks that multi-attack like that tend to use up soul relatively quickly, or at least the first thing I thought of was Flagberg, which I do know uses up soul relatively quickly, but not a bad grade 2, though I wouldn't put it past a 3 of, and that's depending on your deck. Then we have Treasure Wand Shining in the Rainbow, grade 3 normal order, check the top 3, put them at the top of the deck in any order. That is such a cool looking card for such a boring effect. You only just change the order of the top 3 cards, which honestly, if they're all normies, and that, based off of history, is actually wildly consistent with me, it's not going to help you, but take that as you will. Then we have Livid Panthera, so the Kita version of the grade 1, which just went over a few seconds ago, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, continues to guard circle, if your Vanguard's a grade 3 grade, and punch, draft check, or damage check, or build trigger in that turn, get 5,000 power, 5k shield after both turns, so 13k base, 10k shield once your opponent pulls a trigger and you're at grade 3. Not a bad card. I'm a huge fan of all like the animals from Kita Sanctuary, and this one is no exception. I literally like the art, but unfortunately, like I say, with most cards that have really cool art, you're not really going to win them unless you're budget, so again, 2 over 3 depending on your deck. Following that, we have Lizard Soldier Engine, grade 2, intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Auto when it attacks when it's on rear guard, when it attacks at anything. If either Vanguard is a grade 3 guard with Kota Blaze in the card name, or it only has 1 clan. If it only has 1 clan, it doesn't specifically have to be a grade 3 guard. Say, for example, it's Nahal, and that would still proc the ability. Choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card with a different card name from this unit from your drop zone, put it to your soul. Then if your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3 guard at 5,000 power for the battle, so cool, get you extra soul charge. Kota Blaze is getting a lot of support, like in the last few sets. I got 1 from the Festival Collection, is getting 1 in this set, so I'm doing a Kota Blaze deck profile of this set most likely. And then auto rear guard, anything about the attack anything, card boss 1, draw a card, and either put this unit into your soul or bind it. So cool. Increases your soul for possibly another copy on board, increases your bind zone for whatever deck you want to use that in Dragon Empire revolves around binding. I don't think Sojo Doji needs this, but I mean, that's an option, I guess, technically. But it also gets you a hand card as well, and only costs you 1 CB, which can be a little bit hefty, but its first skill just gets you a soul for free generically, which is also pretty solid, so not a bad grade 2 at all. I think this card is really great as a, support card for Kota Blade / cards that only have 1 clan in general, so easy, like 4 for me. And fine, next up we have for Whirl Cloud Dragon, grade 2 instant 5k shield, 10k base. This Shenlong looking motherfucker contains rear guard circle. During the battle, they attack a grade 3 guard unit. If you put a card with the same name as your Vanguard from your soul into drop zone this turn, it gets 10,000 power. So Soul Boss out of Persona Art. I don't know, in my mind, what deck does that outside of Kota Blaze consistently, but it works if it works. So not a bad grade 2 at all, but I want to put a passive 2 up for that because it's kind of very specific.
And on to our reviews for the day. First up, I just want to say sorry that this took so long because it takes a while to translate these. First, we have Solitary Hero is semi-OI, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base, the standard auto road point for second draw card, and then continues in soul. If your Vanguard's a Bravern, this card cannot leave the soul by card abilities, which is very important because a lot of the cards require this unit to be in soul. Following that, Remarkable Pilot is Sami Oi, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, honor Rotopon by an unknown humanoid robot Bravern. Really great 3-card Bravern as card name from your right deck, and put a form of Brave Knight's token into your order zone, so it gets you a free token order. We'll go over that as later. Following that, we have unknown humanoid robot Bravern. Great 275k shield, 10k base with a ninja star in the background for some reason. Auto and Rotopon by the hero who saves the world Bravern. Search your deck or drop zone for up to 1 courageous combination Bang Dragon. Call it to back row center. If you search your deck, you shuffle it. So cool. Get your rear guard for free, and that's all I can say for you. Following that, our amazing grade 3 who can actually lead you with not 1 but 2 units is the hero who saves the world Bravern. Grade 3 twin drive, obviously no persona right, 13k base. Active Vanguard D Legion, so you know the standard once per game or per card once per game. You can serve up to 2 triggers and 2 norm units back into your deck from the drop zone, and Superior Ride one of the following 2, or not Superior Ride, Superior Legion, one of the 2 cards, aka search your deck and put a unit from the deck right next to the Vanguard circle. That would be 2 great standing side by side Def Drive Superbia or Super Dimensional Robo Die Kaiser, and this way you can activate 2 different Legion abilities depending. So if you with Die Kaiser, you obviously get Die Kaiser's ability. With Superbia, you get Superbia's ability along with his own ability, which is Auto Vanguard Circle. Once per turn, at the end of the battle, this unit attacks to anything. If it is in D Legion and your soul has a copy of Asami Oi in it, counter +1, ditch 1, stand this unit, give it plus 10k and -1 drive for the turn. Cool. Very simple stand, gets extra power, get you a drive minus. Personally, I think this works a lot better with the Die Kaiser Legion than Die Kaiser does with Dayusha, because you always will end up having that extra drive check on the account that you don't end up having Die Kaiser skill most likely active. But being a 23k base with D Legion, so you know, roughly a 36k base is pretty good again, and you get extra attacks as well, regardless of a grade 3 opponent's Vanguard's at. Though to be fair, for D Legion to proc off, you do have to be a grade 3, so take that as you will. Following that, we have Courageous Combination Bang Dragon. Great on boost, 5k shield, 8k base, act rear guard. If your Vanguard is exactly 1 hero who saves the world Bravern and is not in D Legion, put this card to your soul and search your deck or hand or face up damage for up to 1 Explosive Courage Bang Bravern. Write it as stand. If you search your deck, you shuffle it, and if you chose a card from your damage zone, put the target protected damage zone face up. So being able to not only get you an extra soul card, but then get you a Superior Ride from pretty much everywhere is honestly pretty solid, and I do like how it's the standard mecha anime thing where, you know, one unit can then make the main thing even stronger by combining with it. Speaking of which, this is Explosive Courage Bang Bravern, grade 3 twin type persona, 13k base, auto and placed by the ability of Courageous Combination Bang Dragon. It gets plus 5k and plus 1 drive for the turn. So for the turn, it's an 18k with triple drive, which is pretty solid. And then Auto Vanguard at the end of your turn, choose the hero who saves the world Bravern from your soul, write it as rest, choose a Courage Combination Bang Dragon from your soul, drop zone, call to back or rear guard circle as rest. Honestly, pretty solid. I do like how this deck kind of works, where you can use either Bang Dragon to get you into Bang Bravern, or you can choose to go with Bang or regular Bravern's ability to get D Legion. I like how it can alternate between the two. Either way though, very solid grade 3 because both of them get you triple drives, so I think this card is pretty nice in terms of art wise. Skill wise, I think you're probably just going to stick with D Legion, but still pretty cool to look at. Following that, we have one of the Legion cards, 2 great standing side by side Def Drive Superbia, great 275k shield, 10k base, auto Vanguard or rear guard. Once you attacks at anything, if your order zone has either form of Brave Knights or Souls during fierce competition, counter +1 draw card, and if your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3 guarder, you get the player. All your former units get plus 5,000 power to end of turn. Cool. That can proc once your opponent hits grade 3, and guaranteed as long as your order zone has one of the 2 orders, you'll be able to get a draw just for 1 simple CB. Getting extra power to your front row is also good, and again, with how D Legion works, that does stack for everyone, so you get more numbers overall. Following that, Auto Vanguard at the start of your ride phase, if this unit's in D Legion, energy buys 3, insert your deck or drop zone for up to 1. Beyond that, burst of courage, burn, brave, big bang. Ride it as if you start your deck, you shuffle it. So another way to get Superior Ride, but this time while you're in D Legion. So not gonna lie, pretty solid grade 2, and we're about to see what that card is. Beyond that, burst of courage, burn, brave, big bang. Grade 4 triple drive, 13k base. This card can only be ridden by the ability of 2 great standing side by side Death Rise Superbia, and cannot be ridden by other means. 2 abilities, first up is, or 3 abilities actually, auto and placed on Vanguard Circle. This unit gets all the following to end of turn. At the end of your turn, choose a hero who saves the world Bravern from your soul, write as rest, contains Vanguard, your entire farm gets 10k. So just Superior Riding into this gives you a Persona Ride. And then Auto Vanguard once per turn at the end of the battle this unit attacked. If your soul has a card with Ezel out in the card name, counter +1 stand this unit and it loses 2 drives for the turn, so it gets you multi-attack. And finally, Auto Vanguard once per turn when this unit stands by a card ability, ditch a hand card, this unit gets 10,000 power and cool. So cool, gets you extra attacks, it gets you also front row 10k, which is nice, and again, it also allows you to get more power every time you do extra attacks. So not a bad grade 4 at all. This deck seems to have like a whole, you know, evolving mecha theme, so a lot of these you're not going to play more than like 2 of or 3 ofs depending, but still very solid, great for it to have, but I wouldn't put it past the 2 of, like I said, because we do have the ability to superior ride. This will probably be a forward load just because, again, draw resource and also a free 5k front row. Following that, we have our token order, form up Brave Knights, grade 2 set order, token set order. This card presents a form up Brave Knights token and cannot be put into your main deck. Continuous order zone, if your Vanguard is a Brave in this card name, all units with TS in their card name get extra 5k shield. Those are pretty much the mechs they ride. And then act order zone once per turn. If your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 2 or greater, energy blast 3, then choose a TS card in your drop zone called the rearguard circle. Cool, like how that can just get you a rearguard. Granted, you can only have one of these at a time, but 3 energy that you get every turn gets a rearguard that ends up having an extra 5k shield on top of it. Not a bad order to have. Following that, we have the Caring Big Sister type Brave Knights Hibiki Ryo. So we have a few different cards with similar skills. Hibiki Ryu, Hiro Arle, Akiri Mishima, and Shelly Roland. They all have their different mechs, but they all pretty much do the exact same thing, just with the change of the names for the mech that they look for. Anyways, continuous if your Vanguard's a big Bravern, this you can install the following. Continuous if your rearguard has the same card, has the same card name as this unit, you cannot call it to rearguard circle, cannot normal call it either. Basically, if you have a copy on the sub board, you can't get a second copy, and then auto drop zone when your mid-range support specialist TS Reika guiding missile type is placed on your rearguard circle. Soul Boss 1 calls card to rearguard circle and same combat. Literally all the cards have the exact same effect, just differs based on the mecha. Following that, we have the different mechas. First, we have mid-range support specialist TS Reika guiding missile type. I'm just going to go off of like the blank missile type or type, whatever it is, and not like the full name. Grade 2 set 5k shield, 10k base. Continues your Vanguard's a big Bravern and gets all the following. Continues rearguard. When this unit move on guard circle, you may move your rearguard Hibiki Ryo's card into the same column as it to the guard circle at the same time. And auto rearguard once per turn when this unit attacks into a grade 3 or grade unit while boosted by Brave Knights, it gets 5,000 power till end of turn, and if boosting by Hibiki Ryo until end of battle, your opponent cannot intercept, and when your opponent cards and guard circles like 2 more at the same time. So cool. Most times when a card does that, it still allows your opponents to intercept, so they can bypass the, having to throw on 2 cards ability. But being able to nullify their intercepts and then basically force them to is pretty solid. And again, it gives itself an extra 5k while being boosted by probably 8k units, so 23k. So unless your opponent hits 2 triggers or their Vanguard's base power is different, they're automatically gonna have to throw in extra cards. And you can also move cards to guard circles in time as it, adding more to your shield value. Then we have Close Combat Form TS Struggle Rhinos, continues rearguard. Okay, so all of them have the same, when intercept, move the rearguard with specified name to the guard circle with it. Auto rearguard once per turn. When this unit attacks into a grade 3 grade unit while boosted by Brave Knights, it gets 5,000 power for the turn. Then it was boosted by Hero, you get to Soul Charge 1. So Soul Charge and a 15k swing. So by the looks of it, all of them move stuff to guard circle with them. They all get 5k power when they're boosted by Brave Knights, and then they do an extra ability when boosted by the specified Brave Knights. And Rekka Kira Custom, the Guerrilla Warfare Specialist, does exactly what I said it would, except when it attacks a grade 3 or greater unit while boosted by the Brave Knights, then it gets the 5k, so it has to be specifically a grade 3 or greater. But if it was boosted by the specified unit, in this case Arika Mishima, stand all of your rearguard in the same column as it, and then it gets also contains rearguard. This unit cannot attack your opponent's Vanguard, but it can attack your opponent's backguard units until end of turn. So the first attack goes into the Vanguard, second attack, stand a column, swing a back row, mark off their rears, or just swing up their front or rears. Okay, not a bad grade 2. I mean, that's a free restand and a free rearguard poke off essentially, so not a bad combination at all. Solid 4 in my opinion. One that we have Heavy Assault type TS Dingo, grade 2 set 5k shield, 10k base, can change rearguard, standard move guard circle, and then auto from a rearguard circle, or one auto rearguard circle once per turn. When attacks a grade 3 guard unit boosted by Brave Knights, 5k power. Then it was boosted by Shelly Roland until end of your opponent's next turn. This unit cannot be retired by opponent's card effects and gets extra shield. So okay, in my opinion, it's like the least ideal of all of them, because yeah, the extra 5k shield is great, but the order already gave them all extra 5k shield, so this is just a 15k shield, which again is good, and it can't be retired by your opponent's card effects, but it can still be moved and wasted on attacks, like how, example, Leonore has that grade 1 that can do it, or Bruce has, I want to say his name was Patrick, or other abilities or stuff that calls over and stuff like that. Dingo by all means is not a bad grade 2. It just feels iffy in my opinion, but it's still like a solid 3 because of defensive capabilities. And then we have Hero Justice Lewis Smith, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, can all continuous if you have a rearguard same card name as a unit, cannot call to rearguard circle as per assumed. Auto drop zone when your top secret model TSXM3 rate Rising Orthos is placed on rearguard circle. So about 1 call to rearguard circle, same column as it, but he's different than the rest of them because auto back or rearguard circle. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacks, if you have a Vanguard, they summon Owl in the, or if you have a summon Owl or Lulu and a burn Braven in your soul, it gets 5,000 power for the turn. So cool, 13k booster if you have the specified units in Soul. Following that, his mecha, which is this thing, which looks like Dot Phaser from LBX, can change rear guard circle when this unit moves on guard circle, move Lewis Smith into guard circle with it, and then auto rear guard once per turn when this unit attacks into a grade 3 grade unit boosted by Brave Knights at 5,000 power. Then it was boosted by Lewis Smith, and your Vanguard is beyond that burst of courage, burn, brave, big bang. So essentially, you want to be on the grade 4. At the end of the battle, retire all of your rear guards and column as it. Search your deck or drop down for up to 1. The hero who saves the world, Bravern, call it your rear guard circle, and it gets 10,000 power for the turn. If you search your deck, you shuffle it. So multi-attack while on the grade 4, who gives you a Persona Ride, who also inherently has triple drive, who also has more multi-attack on it. Not bad. Honestly, this is my favorite robot combination out of them all because it gives good numbers and allows you to be super aggressive, so solid. Then we have Allied Task Force, grade 3 normal order, search your deck or drop stone for up to 2 total cards with TS or Brave Knights in their card name, call it to rear guard circle, if you search your deck, you shuffle it. So that is incredibly broken. That is just a free, I mean, I think to do this, you have to have like the Braven Vanguard, but damn, that's just a free 2-unit call from deck. So pretty solid, not a bad 3 of, honestly. Then we have Lulu, Auto, and Rotopine for second draw cards. This is the other Braven line, standard starter. Then we have Invading Mechanical Lifeform, Death Drive, Superbia, Grade 1 Boost, 5k show, deck base. Auto, place on Vanguard Circle, reveal a grade 3 card, Superman's card name from your red deck. Choose a Lulu from your soul, add it to your hand, soul charge 1, so basically it replaces your soul. And then change Vanguard, it cannot be boosted, so it's just an 8k swing, fair enough. Then we have Brandishing Passion, Death Drive, Superbia. Grade 2 and 5k show, 10k base. Auto replaced by on Vanguard Circle by writing from Invading Mechanical Lifeform, Death Drive, Superbia. Put a Lulu on it from your rear guard circle or your hand into your soul. Just search your deck for up to 1 future hero Lulu, add it to your hand. If you search your deck, you shuffle it. And if you added a card to your hand, put a soul stirring fierce competition token into your order zone. So pretty much get your soul card back out and then get a free order card as well, and also get a free hand card to replace that. So not bad, grade 2. Then we have Future Hero Lulu, grade 1 boost, 5k show, deck base, auto during your turn. If it was discarded from your hand at all, Boss 1, search your deck for up to 1 Allied Task Force, add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. So get the busted order for free, basically. Solid. And then act rear guard once per turn. If your Vanguard is Superbia, retire this unit, choose one of your rear guards, it gets 5,000 power for the turn. And if you choose a unit with Superbia in its card name in the same column as this unit, stand it. And your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 grade to end of turn. The auto ability of your soul stirring fierce competition chooses 2 of your opponent's rear guards instead of 1. So gets you multi-attack, gets you extra power, and by the looks of it can help you break off your opponent's rear guards based off of what I'm assuming Soul Stirring Fierce Competition does, because I've not had time to read any of these cards. Following that, Soul Stirring Fierce Competition, beautiful art by the way, grade 2 set order, token set order as per usual, act to order zone once per turn, energy blast 3, choose one of your future hero Lulu from your drop zone, call to rear guard circle, so nice that it can recycle your port in grade 1, and then act order zone at the start of your battle phase, auto order zone at the start of your battle phase, that's a misprint. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater with Superbia, Soul Boss 1, choose one of your opponent's front or rear guards until end of turn. It cannot intercept, and when your Vanguard would battle, it would battle that unit too. So it's ways to pick off your opponent's rear guards, and it's also a way to knock down their intercepts in case you need to make sure that your opponent can't use their skills to try to avoid dying. Honestly, not a bad order at all. Very solid to have. Again, by the looks of it, it's a token order, so you can't put this in the main deck, but it is a very solid one of for a token, obviously. And finally, we have Superbia. This thing probably has more to a name of it, but where I pulled the translation from, it only gave me a Superbia, so take that as you will. Grade 3 to 9%, 13k base, can change Vanguard. If your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 grade, and you have a hero of the future Lulu in the soul, it gets 5,000 power. Auto Vanguard, when attacks, it gets all the following. By putting a rear guard Lulu's card name into your soul, it gets 5,000 power and Jack plus 1 for the turn. Pretty solid that it procs that off regardless of the grade the opponent's Vanguard's at. And then Counter Boss 1, choose a column, stand all your big, brave rear guards in the same column as it is. So, multi-attack, power, drive checks, more power. Not a bad grade 3 at all. I like its skill a lot. I think its art is very cool. It's like very simplistic, and I like the purple aesthetic of it. But I'm very solid. Too bad I don't play collabs decks, but this would be a collab deck I would play because honestly I'm interested in them in grade 3. And then our last card of the day is Virum Vita, grade 4 triple drive, 13k base. Continues, you may only have 1 copy of this in your deck. Auto drop zone when your damage check reveals a card other than a heal trigger or O trigger. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 card Death Drive in the card name, and you have 5 cards in your damage zone, write this card until end of fight. The number of cards your damage zone becomes lose at is 7. So get this thing into drop zone. You essentially guarantee that you'll live when your 6 damage check hits. And then Auto Vanguard, when this attacks at anything, if you have 6 or more cards in your damage zone, Counter Boss 1, retire all your opponent's rear guards. So board nuke. And yeah, honestly, not bad. I do like how it has an extra ability that procs up when you hit 6 or more damage. My only issue with this is vanilla if you're not at 6 damage, but a very solid grade 3 or grade 4. Allow yourself to live once you hit that threshold. Can board nuke your opponent. We'll talk about it. Easy one of. For this one, thank God. I hope all of you guys enjoyed. So in the next one, we are going to cover Plot Ezel, which we've all been waiting for, and Minerva as well. So I'll see you all then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, don't forget to sign up your Vanguards.